Welcome into LakePoint Sports. Thanks for hopping on by. Yes, we have Easter jokes, and why shouldn't we? It's the Easter Challenge weekend here at the Baseball Village as we bring you coverage of this two-day prep baseball tournament. I'm Cory McCartney, and we've got what figures to be an exciting matchup between Georgia Sandlot and SmarTense, the show from the 14U division. First pitch slated for about 10:20. I'll be joined shortly by our own Grayson Rosen. It's a showdown that has some intriguing names to circle for the spring and the summer ahead, including one in Cartersville, Tyler Hickman, playing for SmarTense, who's already locked in for this summer's future games festivities, so make sure you stick around for this one. Should be a lot of fun. Now let's turn our attention to the stars of tomorrow and a player who's already established himself as one of the top prep players in the country during the recent battle for Bartow. Stony Brook School from New York came down for the trip, and I caught up with Wake Forest signee Jordan Serrano, a top 20 outfielder in the country. Let's get to know this 2025. In the spotlight with Jordan Serrano, Wake Forest signee out of the Stony Brook School in New York. Jordan, man, appreciate the time. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So let's talk about the metrics on you. Were absolutely insane. You got the 106 exit velo, 86 mile an hour bat speed, 6'3" in the 60, 95 mile an hour outfield velo. If I was building a player on like MLB The Show, I feel like these would be all the measures. I mean, but these are real, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so the toolbox is really loaded with you. What do you feel like is that big standout thing for you?
Yeah, consistency. I feel like I started at a young age with Cedar Rapidsville in New Jersey, but I started with him at a young age. Just kept grinding with him. Like Avery Ruiz says, there's no off days, only less days. So just gotta keep working.
What's that point for you of kind of building where you think this is where I kind of get the game a little bit better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at this point, everyone's skillful, right? At this age, it's all mental. So just try to strengthen that up, and then after that, everything will play.
You being a cold weather guy, I know there's some challenges this time of the year. You're down here playing teams from Georgia. They've been playing since February. Maybe a little hard for you guys to get into a rhythm. Do you feel like are those big challenges for a cold weather player?
Yeah, weather, like inconsistency. One day it's 20 degrees, next day it's 60. So just trying to find that balance where we can practice, have good practices, long practices but we always find a way to get our work in, and I feel like that's something that our program does really well.
Demon Deacon's signee, part of a really talented class. Josh Hammond, Prep Baseball American MVP, is part of that crew as well. Tell me what the draw was ultimately for Wake Forest for you and how they ended up getting the commitment.
Yeah, showed a lot of interest. They showed interest in me, I showed interest in them. I was kind of like a two-way street. I love Coach Wall, I love Coach Cory at Wessinger, all of them guys. Just great people, great staff, great school academically as well. And I know I can get better there, so that's why I think.
Growing up in New York, who was your guy? Like, who was that one when you were kind of trying to find out who you were as a player? Who are you modeling things after?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in the pros. I like Acuna, right? He's kind of an all-skillful player as well. Probably him, Mookie Betts are my top two that I try to kind of not necessarily mimic, but kind of model some things in my game around.
Yeah, and in terms of that becomes a point where it's like you want to become your own player, right?
Exactly.
I mean, when did you kind of get to that point where you're like, you know what, my skills are playing. I think I've kind of got a grip on who I am.
Yeah, probably more recently. Like the mental thing starts coming around. You don't try to be other people. You try to figure out who you are and be that as best as you can, because you know yourself the best.
How do you flush away failure? Like when you talk about the mental side of baseball, and it's something I think a lot of guys, you have to get the confidence before you can kind of figure out how you're going to allow failure to not overtake that confidence.
Exactly.
What was that process for you, and how do you do that in game?
Yeah, so I'm a big mental guy. That's something that I'm working on a lot, especially over the offseason I've been working on. But I take everything. So next one, that's kind of my biggest thing, right? If I miss a pitch, I take a pitch down the middle, next pitch, right? Kind of just keep going on the next one. Don't think about too much about what happened, but now what we're going to do.
All right, Jordan, great stuff, man. I always love to see a guy in motion, so I'm going to get that bat in your hand and have you take us to your stance. Sound good?
Sounds good. So before stepping in the box, usually look at my bat, take a deep breath, get myself ready. Step in the box, 1, 2. And right now, all I'm thinking, I'm not even thinking. There's this one saying I think it's "Be Water" by Bruce Lee. Kind of just go with the flow, fluid, right? So I'm in the box in my stance, relaxed, calm. I'll hit a little elbow flap if I need to. Load up, and let's go from there.
Great stuff, Jordan, man. Absolutely appreciate it. If you're not already, make sure you follow LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and you get so much more happening here on campus. Great stuff there from Jordan. We'll see if he winds up at Wake Forest or if this summer's MLB draft comes calling. Now, the on-field action is just part of the offerings here at LakePoint Sports, where we effort to provide a best-in-class experience, and that includes access to testing and player performance data that is redefining evaluation and recruiting. Curve Test Center gives athletes an unprecedented look at how they measure up through its ball, body, and brain approach to testing. Let's go inside the Curve Test Center.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Three.
Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills at TrackMan, Proteus, and more. Visit at the Bubble or sign up now at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. Again, we've got a matchup of Georgia Sandlot and SmarTense, the show. Let's go ahead and take a look at those starting lineups presented by the Windscreen Factory. Georgia Sandlot leading off with extra hitter Luke Taylor. Then it's right fielder Graham Stein. Hitting third is first baseman Ryan Peckham. Hitting fourth, left fielder Logan Moran. Hitting fifth is center fielder Connor Burrian. Hitting sixth, extra hitter Teddy Taylor. Hitting seventh, shortstop Logan Brooks. Hitting eighth, Michael Queen, the DH. Hitting ninth, Joseph Sabura, third baseman. Hitting 10th, catcher Colton Lucas. Hitting 11th, Tyler Maidman, the second baseman. And on the mound, Parker Schenk, the right-hander. Let's look at SmarTense, the show. Going to be batting 16 batters today. Tyler Hickman leading thing off. After that, it'll be Ross Christie. Nolan Idle, the right-hander, will also be on the mound. Then it's Jaden Bloodworth, Paxton Jennings, Jordan Bierston, Yamil Morales, Malachi Baker, Parker Lively, Reeve Lee, Jeremiah Powers, Garrett Hunt, Logan Dean, Mac Livesey, Parker McLeod, and Daniel LaBelle. Again, we're headed towards first pitch of this matchup from the Easter Challenge. We'll be back with more shortly. You're watching all of our coverage here at LakePoint Sports. We're going to cut over to the field action now and give you a shot of where these guys are in the warm-up process. Again, things headed towards first pitch here in this matchup from the Easter Challenge. We'll be joining with you more shortly here from the studio. We're going to take a break, audio-wise anyway, and we'll give you this shot of the teams warming up as we move towards first pitch in the Easter Challenge. We are underway. First pitch, a ball, as is the second one here, as we're looking at Nolan Idle on the mound for SmarTense. The show, Cory McCartney, now joined by the aforementioned, if you were around for the pregame show, Grayson Rosen. So we bring you this matchup from the Easter Challenge. Swing and a miss on that one, 81.1. I'm going to get Nolan Idle a hat that fits as part of his Easter basket.
I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. Nice shirt, Cory.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we planned ahead on this one. So this was our, a lot of times Easter weekend, kids get matching gear. Yeah. So we're just feeling that Easter vibe here on this Saturday morning in this Easter Challenge matchup from the 14U division.
Yeah, me and Cory are ready for family photos.
That's right. Luke Taylor at the plate puts that one in play. That one is into left field. Luke Taylor going to have a leadoff single. Is he going to hold there? Luke's on his way to second base. Georgia Sandlot just like that. Man, errant throw. Is he going to make his all the way to the third? Luke Taylor getting some sprints in here to start the morning. And, man, he's going to be at third base off that errant throw. And Georgia Sandlot's in business to start things off against SmarTense.
Yeah, rise and shine. He had to really be on his feet there to get things rolling. But good work by him. Heads up, getting up at second base and advancing to third. That's a good start right here for Georgia Sandlot.
Graham Stein now steps in. Nolan Idle, as I mentioned, on the mound out of Lakeview Academy, 2029, sixth prep baseball event for this 6-foot, 150-pound righty. First pitch put in play, and that one is going to be caught for an out.
Good work there at shortstop.
So quick, our camera can't even adjust to that hot shot. But
caught the liner there.
All right, so Graham Stein lines out. Now Ryan Peckham, the first baseman, steps in. Ryan, a Walton 2029. A lot of these players are from the Walton area. A lot of guys on both these teams appeared at the Rising Stars preseason All-State in March.
I think that hat's going to be a problem.
Yeah, more strikes so far, or more times that Nolan has lost his helmet or lost his hat. Comes the 1-0. There goes again. That one's in play. Shortstop has it. Gathers, throws in time for the out, but Luke Taylor crosses the plate, and just like that, Georgia Sandlot's got a 1-0 lead here in the first.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to prove an early costly error for SmarTense, but on the other end, great heads-up play by Georgia Sandlot. Now they just kind of bring that guy around, and you have a early 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
With two down, brings up left fielder Logan Moran. Logan, 2029, watches that offering from Idle miss.
I like what we're seeing from Idle, though. I know he's kind of getting hit right now, but velo up into the low 80s as well. Nice to see from a young pitcher.
Yeah, he's got a changeup around 71, 72. Also has a curveball set 66 to 68, but that fastball is ticking a little bit higher than what we had on the prep baseball profile.
See if Georgia Sandlot can keep this inning alive.
Moran at the plate playing in his 9th prep baseball event. He's got a 1-1. It's going to miss high. At least it's turf, right? If it was dirt and he kept losing his hat every time, the white hat would get a little bit dirty. Don't think that would play well in the parental department. 2-1.
I think he fouled that one
fouled off his leg.
If there's any moms in the crowd that are watching, maybe have a hair clip or something.
Yeah, something. Headband. We got to go get Logan something here. Nolan something here. Logan's at the plate.
Yeah, Logan's taking his time to recoup.
Yeah, there are 6 players on the SmarTense, the show team, as that one's going to miss as well, who played in the preseason All-State in March, and another, and Tyler Hickman, who I mentioned during the intro, who's already locked in for the junior feature games in July. I'm surprised to see that already, but local kid at Cartersville. Moran pops that one up, and that's going to be caught for the center fielder. But Georgia Sandlot has already taken a 1-0 lead off of some smart base running from Luke Taylor. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Easter Challenge.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Be SmarTense, the show's turn at the plate, and they will lead off with Jaden Bloodworth. He'll be followed by Paxton Jennings and Nolan Idle, who we just saw on the mound. Georgia Sandlot, meanwhile, going to be bringing out Parker Schenk, leading this defensive unit. Schenk on the mound, playing in his 6th prep baseball event, 5'9", 130-pound righty. We've got him with a fastball up around 74, so let's see how much that may be upticked. We saw an elevation on Nolan Idle's profile. He was around 82.5, it looked like, in that last inning of work. So got a curveball 57 to 60 for Schenk.
Got some good eye black for Schenk. You don't see that all the time on the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, that's some next level eye black right there. That's what you need, a mirror for that kind of eye black.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't do that blind.
Jaden Bloodworth is the leadoff hitter out of East Side. 5'9", 145-pound right-hander. 13th prep baseball event for Jaden.
A lot of pre-at-bat antics there at the batter's box.
Ooh, Schenk just misses on the inside. Quick worker. He's ready to roll.
And Georgia Sandlot, I mean, they've been moving quick. The offense put up a run in what was a very fast first inning, so I think he's just excited to get that offense back up and rolling.
It's got a 2-0 count here against Bloodworth.
Strong last name.
Yeah, that's a... Dribbler back over the top of the head of the pitcher. Shortstop has it, throws in time. I always make my entry into the game's name that sounds most like an action hero, and I think Bloodworth has got to be a...
Bloodworth's
Yeah,
good.
that would just be like one name, though. You wouldn't even be like...
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be like Jaden Bloodworth is hard to get out. It would just be like Bloodworth.
Yeah, yeah, it would definitely be kind
Just
of a
one name.
MacGyver situation.
Yeah. Strong start in the name department, and now we're going to see Paxton Jennings. Jennings, a Harlem 2029, 11th prep baseball event for this right-hander. A looping curveball misses for ball 1. Another guy who was at preseason All-State in March. I think you basically just took these two teams together because there were 6 players on Georgia Sandlot and 6 players from SmarTense. So 12 players who were at that event are on the field right now. Third baseman has it on the run. Pulls him off the bag, and he's going to be safe.
Yeah, it's a tough play to make. Third baseman came up firing, but good work by the first baseman just to stop that and avoid an error.
All right, Jennings is aboard, and now here comes Nolan Idle. Now this lineup, nowhere near what we were given to start this game off. I was given a list of 16 players in a numbered order and was told that was the lineup, and that is not what we were seeing unfold before our eyes. So we will give you the updates as soon as we are rolling along here with this, but not what we were given in the opening graphic. First pitch, that one's popped up. Who's got it on the run? That one's hard to get to. Bounces in front of the center fielder.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that was he just struck the Air Jordan pose as he was able to throw that into the second base. But
he barehanded that?
Yeah, he barehanded it on the bounce and in one motion was able to throw it. And, man, that was an athletic play in center field from Connor Brain.
Wow. That was pretty awesome.
That was some cool stuff there. All right, so Idle's aboard, and here's Tyler Hickman. Again, already locked in for junior feature games. There's a great-looking curveball from Schenk. Yeah, Hickman, a Cartersville 2029, 18th prep baseball event for him. Catcher and third baseman. Hickman rips the 0-1 into left field, and that's going to drop down for a hit. Runner's taken off from third. He's going to make his all the way home, and throw is not going to be made. Make it a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, smart to cut that off there at third base. Don't allow anybody else to advance. Good work right there, hitting from SmarTense, getting that run. Already tying this thing right back up in the bottom of the first. Just 1 out, 2 runners on.
Malachi Baker now at the plate. Mentioned to you before we went on, I felt like when you looked at these two lineups, this was going to be a pretty exciting game. And so far here in the bottom of the first, it is living up to that billing. Baker, a Greenbrier 2028. And a few 2028s in this game. Bloodworth, by the way, also a 2028. 7th prep baseball event for this 5'11", 181-pound right-hander.
I have to admit, I've never seen Malachi spelled this way.
No?
No. Malaky.
Oh, man, what in the world just happened? Pinball happening there in the infield. Still able to get the out.
Got him. Wow.
What in the world, man? That was a great play by Logan Brooks at short. Ball bounced off the glove of the third baseman, and man, just human pinball out there. As that one goes to Logan Brooks, he's able to get it over to first base for and out.
That one was pretty crazy. It was a real close play over there at first. I think that's what Coach for Georgia Sandlot's talking to our field umpire about, but nonetheless, a fantastic play right there at short.
Sure was. Reeve Lee now at the plate with 2 down in the inning. Parkview 2029. Yeah, Logan Brooks, an absolute baller at shortstop, man. That's some great reaction time.
It definitely helps them out a ton. Yes, the 2 runners move in a scoring position, but now you have 2 outs. Try and get it done. Got time called.
Where do you stand on arm sleeves for the pitcher?
I'm not a fan. Especially that one, because it's only going to his elbow. I feel like that might cause some unnecessary compression. But I don't know. Maybe it's more than a fashion statement. It could be an essential.
I'm good with, the position player, if he's coming into the game, he got thrust out of center field and he's got the arm sleeve on and, maybe he's got it on. But I always feel like if you're the starting pitcher, maybe that's not part of the makeup.
I think it's just because, like, in the majors, obviously nobody's doing that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. We're just so accustomed to seeing it. You also don't see eye black on a starting pitcher in the major leagues. That's in for a strike.
It's a well-placed pitch right there. Good work on 2-0.
Shank looking to get out of this and limit this damage. Keep this at a 1-1 game. Reeve Lee at the plate. He's got a 2-1 count, 2 down. Ball bounces away from a runner's taken off from third, and that's going to be a second run from SmarTense. Also have runner advance 90 feet to third base.
It's been some big offense here. A lot of it just kind of capitalizing on a few small errors, but definitely an exciting game to start here. Already 3 runs scored in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that was Nolan Idle crossing the plate, so he's got SmarTense up 2-1. Reeve Lee puts that in play. Logan Brooks has it, gathers, throws in time, and that'll bring it into the inning, but SmarTense has taken a 2-1 lead. We'll be on again momentarily for the second inning. You're watching the Easter Challenge from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. SmarTense up 2-1 over Georgia Sandlot in the second inning of our game of the day from the Easter Challenge. Nolan Idle returns on the mound for SmarTense. Currently looking at Connor Burrian from Walton, 2029 at the plate. Watches that in for a strike. Connor, mentioned 2029, another guy who was at preseason All-State in March. I feel like I'm going to say that over and over and over again in this game. But, yeah, I think because we didn't have the future games, including that different age group this past summer, that's kind of one of those small indicators of who the guys really were to watch for as we got into the spring and the early portions of the summer, was those kind of Rising Stars events that prep baseball puts on. It's going to make it 2-2.
Yeah, last week with the Prep Baseball Youth Cup, we had some of those bigger names in big national teams, and a couple of those guys, I think, had made some appearances on those Junior Future Games teams last year, but definitely a much smaller crop of the 14U guys that you'll see there each year.
Count is now full to Burrian. Idle delivers. Burrian puts that in play. Rocket off his bat, 81.4. That's dropping down into right center for a base hit. So for the second straight inning, Georgia Sandlot's got the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, good work right there. Just getting the poke out there into shallow right center and finding himself aboard. Seeing a lot of good offense to start these innings from both sides.
Blessed Trinity's Teddy Taylor now at the plate. Interesting dynamic because there was a couple games played last night, but by and large, this is a one-day event. And you think about it from a pitching standpoint, if you're expecting to go deep in this one, you need your starting pitcher to hold their serve.
Definitely. You do not want to start using up arms, especially early in the day today, because you know you're going to have bracket play coming up in just a couple of hours.
Taylor drives that one into center field. That's going to drop down for another base hit. It's throw into second's going to be late. They are seeing Nolan Idle awfully well early on here as Georgia Sandlot's already got 3 hits here in the second inning.
I think both teams just having no issue.
Yeah, putting bat to ball.
But we'll see who can kind of pull away here.
Logan Brooks, who has played some fantastic shortstop now at the plate, and he's on first pitch swinging. That one gets away from the second baseman.
They're going to hold him
Going to hold him at third. So bases are now going to be loaded, and man, they are absolutely just jumping on something. I think some conversations were had after that first inning, and they are all looking for something when they go to the plate here against Nolan Idle.
Yeah, and playing it base to base right now, setting themselves up really well. And see if maybe something big could happen. Get some extra bases and bring some runs in.
Michael Queen, Roswell 2029, now up, nobody out, bases loaded. Watches that first one in for a strike. I've got the lost hat counter. It's somewhere north of 20.
That could become an issue.
We've seen,
when you've got so many guys on base.
We've seen 23 pitches from Idle, make it 24, and another lost hat.
Maybe the most distance we got on that hat.
So I say this in all seriousness because I really do wonder this. A comebacker, a real hard comebacker comes back to the pitcher, but he's lost his hat. And that one's going to be into right field. One run's going to score. Queen's got himself an RBI and going to move the chain along. Bases will remain loaded. If you got a hot shot back at you and your focus for 1 second goes to that hat.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of a bad defensive position does that put you in with a ball hit back at you?
And baseball is just such a reaction time based game that, it's a matter of milliseconds. It is that one moment where you look at your hat and then you look back and all of a sudden that comebacker's kind of at your face. But
I mean, I'm having some fun with it, obviously, but I do wonder about that element of it because it is, as you mentioned, a reactionary game, and when you need to react quickly on a ball coming back at you, and you maybe are thinking about the fact that you've got to pick up your hat again, it becomes a point of interest. All right, we are all tied up now at 2-2 as we saw Michael Queen come through with an RBI single. Joseph Sabora now at the plate. Another Walton player on this Georgia Sandlot squad at 2029.
I'm really happy with the base running right now. You're not getting too aggressive. You're not doing anything that, really pushes the boundaries, but you're getting guys around the base paths, and right now it's been very successful.
Gets away from the catcher. Runners will hold.
Like I said, not being aggressive, just playing with what they've got.
"26 pitches thus far for Idle." That's going to miss. Count now 2-0.
See if Sabora can continue the pattern here of RBI singles.
Yeah, none of these counts have gotten too deep here to start the second. He's going to miss now 3-0. Sabora will be followed by catcher Colton Lucas. That's in for a strike.
Yeah, I think it's important right now for Idle to not kind of overreact to what's happened early in this inning. Sure, they're hitting you early in these at-bats, but don't start trying to pitch around the zone.
Skies that one back. Foul count is now full.
Yeah, good work fighting back here. See what Sabora's got. He knows he'll get an offering.
Here comes a payoff pitch from Idle. Sabora puts that in play. Third baseman has it, gathers, touches one bag, throws in time. Nice double play. Is able. They did not get him at first. Wow. Did he come off the bag because the throw looked like it was going to be in plenty of time?
That was real close.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to have an out off that great play by third baseman, able to tag up and get the one out, but unable to complete the double play.
Good work hustling down the line.
Yeah, Sabora's now at first, and Colton Lucas, the catcher's at the plate. Georgia Sandlot did get another run. Lucas puts that in play. Second baseman has it, touches the bag, throws in time. Now they've got their double play. Georgia Sandlot has taken a 3-2 lead. Georgia Sandlot trying to argue that he maybe came off the bag, but nonetheless, they've got a 3-2 lead. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Easter Challenge.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. 3-2 is the lead for Georgia Sandlot here in the bottom of the second inning, our game of the day from the Easter Challenge. Jordan Brittenson will lead things off for SmarTense. He'll be followed by Yomil Morales and then Jeremiah Powers. Another look at Parker Shank on the mound for Georgia Sandlot through just 13 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah, had a busy start really for both sides, but we've seen some good defense out of both teams to get out of these innings, and especially in that last half. SmarTense showing some. I like that. Just a reset. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that he's like, I got to get into my mechanics of my throwdown. So you shadow box the throwdown.
Yeah. But I almost wonder, is that not a good thing? Because then you're practicing a scenario that might not happen.
Oh, that's true. Brinteson now steps in. Decula 2029, 10th prep baseball event for him. One's going to sail away. Interesting metrics on Brenteson. Already exit velos around almost 90 miles an hour. Also runs a 6.9960.
Wow.
Yeah, so Decula, certainly we have seen some awfully strong play from Decula at the high school level right now. Reeston Durham, Texas signee. He's not a signee. He's a 2026.
No, he's a commit.
Commit. Yeah, he's not there yet. I feel like he's been around forever, though.
Yeah.
But Jordan Brenteson could be joining him a year from now in Decula, and that one's popped up. Brenteson going to be out into the glove of the right fielder, so Decula could have another strong player on the way, but we'll get another look at him a little bit later on. That's going to bring up Yomil Morales.
Yeah, even though he popped that one up, he still kind of gave it a ride at 81.6. That one real high. Good work out there in right field to reel it in.
Morales, outfielder, first baseman, 2028, on his way, currently a freshman at Brookwood. Bouncer, yeah, third baseman's going to watch that go foul.
Yeah,
probably for the best.
Yeah, definitely smart. That thing was bouncing for a little bit too long to make any kind of play over there at first.
Morales playing in his 9th prep baseball event.
Love the bat.
Yeah, swinging that pink stick here on a Saturday morning. It's got an 0-1 count. Count's now evened up. Schenk misses, kind of losing his touch on that curveball a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that pitch is on today. Just hasn't quite.
He's thrown a few of them in warm-up pitches, just not really hitting where it should be and when there's a batter at the plate. But count's now going to be 2-2. Morales will be followed by Jeremiah Powers. The 2-2. Sends that one foul. Doing his job to drive up Parker Schenk's pitch count.
We'll see if Schenk has something that you can put him away with. Maybe goes back to that breaking ball to give it another try.
Yeah, he's got it. Certainly has a pitch to give in the count. We'll see if that is the play. He does, and that one goes foul as well.
Good work by Morales. Just staying alive.
He did get a handle on it that time, though. Maybe the best version of it that he's thrown in an AB. This long AB rages on. Bounces away from the catcher. Count will now be full. This next pitch will equal the number that he threw in the first inning.
Wow.
Morales puts it in play, and that one's going to be through the wicket there for a single, one-out single for Morales.
That's a stellar at bat for
he
Morales.
Worked it.
Certainly got a little bit far past where he maybe thought he'd be standing up there, but got the desired outcome for sure, and you're going to keep rolling things here for SmarTense, trying to get another run up on the board.
Yeah, absolute quality AB for Yomil Morales. Ends with a one-out single. Now Jeremiah Powers steps in, Greater Atlanta Christian 2030. Schenk offended that Morales is now standing at first base as he throws over immediately.
A little bit of a quick pitch there.
Yeah. Everything about Parker Schenk, the eye black, the arm sleeve, the setup on from the stretch screams position player.
Yeah, definitely.
And no offense to him, he's pitching a strong game thus far, but I think certain guys, just the way that they carry themselves on the mound, look like a position player who's come in to pitch. And athletic kid, without question, he's wanted that one bad.
Yeah, I think most guys, especially at this age, most guys are also going to be position players.
Sure.
But there is some guys who want to be pitchers, and if a lot of guys who want to be pitchers wouldn't be wearing an arm sleeve. But I think Parker Schenk's doing a great job, even if he isn't typically pitching. I think that was a balk, though. didn't come set. I think he's a little bit too concerned about that quick pitch.
All right, so Morales now standing at second base. 0-2 count here now to Powers. They get 1-2. It's hard to see a Powers in a baseball situation and not immediately think of Kenny.
Yep. I was thinking the exact same thing. Can't get too in-depth on the stories of Kenny Powers.
A lot of quotes that we will not be able to repeat here on this broadcast.
Yeah. I have a abbreviated mound meeting here.
Big things come in small packages. Jeremiah Powers, 5'2", 105 pounds that he's listed on the Prep Baseball profile, but he's playing in his 8th Prep Baseball event and was also a member of that preseason All-State invitee list in March. So this kid can absolutely play shortstop and outfielder.
You certainly could have assumed that that is exactly what they were going to do coming out of a mound meeting with the pitcher, catcher, and shortstop was going to act like he was going to get the pick off, but
yeah, Powers ropes that, man. I'm telling you, like
living up
the kid's
to the
got
name.
some pop. He's got an exit velo around 74.1 on the profile. That one's 73.7. Again, 5'2", 105-pound frame, so he's packing some pop.
Got to use it all. See what Shank's got. Ooh.
Oh, nice attempt.
Good work by Morales. Getting back on that one.
The one thing I will say about his setup from the stretch is it gives you a lot of room for looking around.
Definitely.
You know, he's got a lot of leeway from that crouch position because 1-2.
Ooh.
Yeah, Powers got a hold of that one. Skies that into left field, but that'll be caught for an out. Runner will hold at second.
Good hack right there from Powers.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate to hit it directly to the left fielder. Yeah, I think with Shank's motion, it does help him looking for that pickoff, but at the same time, he comes in low and then goes high, then starts the motion towards home and then kind of pauses before he throws. And I think that's why he's maybe so concerned about the base runners right now, is that he does have a style that could be easily stolen if you can get a good jump on it.
Garrett Hunt will step in with 1 on and 2 down. Chattahoochee 2028.
Last guy in the lineup, so if he can keep it alive here, they'll flip it over.
Yeah, that may be news to you if you tuned in early and saw our list of 16 players and wondered when in the world. When I got that, I was like, are these kids going to hit like once this game?
I was about to say, we go through 5 innings and just barely get through the lineup.
Shank's pitch misses arm side. Count 1-0 here to Hunt. SmarTense can hold, serve, and answer Georgia Sandlot's 3-2 lead.
Morales is definitely trying to get in the head of Shank now. You see him immediately going out with a big lead. He's going to be dancing around back there, just playing the game. Oh, yeah. It's dangerous, but see how it goes.
Another miss, make it 2-0. He's got Logan Brooks in his back pocket. Count is 2-0 here to Hunt. Again, last hitter in the lineup for SmarTense. Sends that one foul.
And not a bad pitch right there from Shank. Certainly sets the eyes on the outside half to maybe bring something on the inside and make him hit it off the hands for some weak contact.
Count is now 2-1. Morales continues to dance in the peripheral vision of Shank. Another ball.
Make it 3-1.
Be back to Jaden Bloodworth in the top of the order if Hunt can get on. And he, in fact, will. So a 2-out walk is going to give runners at first and second for the leadoff hitter.
See if SmarTense can try and recreate the 2-run magic that they got in the first. Like I said the first time, a lot of antics. He goes into the box and then exits, which is a little much.
Yeah.
But to each their own. If it works, it works.
It's all about rhythm, right?
Oh, there
oh
it is.
man.
Oh, good stop right there at short.
Man, another impressive play from Logan Brooks at short, man. Kid can absolutely play.
Morales definitely getting his money worth there at second base. Still hasn't even advanced to third, but certainly been a attention grabber there. Got to check everything out. Shank very fortunate that this is not major leagues and he's allowed to disengage as many times as he'd like in an at-bat.
Another glance back at Morales. Didn't expect that.
No, me neither.
Thought he was going to catch somebody napping, but
yeah, that's a dangerous game, picking off to the first base when you have a runner at second.
Yeah, tough throw regardless for a right-hander. Misses the Bloodworth.
Kind of feels weird that was the first pitch of this at bat.
Yeah.
I feel like
we've seen him step into the box 4 times.
Waiting.
Yeah. That's in for a strike. 70.2 mile an hour on the readout.
Yeah, good pitch right there. Bloodworth seeing a strike. We'll see how he readjusts himself for the rest of the at bat. Still hitting with 2 outs, so you know those runners are going on contact.
Yeah, runners at first and second with 2 down. Misses in the elevated pitch and gonna run the count at 1-2. SmarTense trying to answer this 3-2 lead for Georgia Sandlot. Leadoff hitter Jaden Bloodworth has a 1-2 count, 2 on, 2 down. Shank delivers. Bloodworth sends that one down the left side, foul.
Yeah, despite SmarTense not putting up any runs in this inning just yet, Shank has definitely had his fair share of troubles with this SmarTense lineup so far.
26 pitches in this inning for Parker Shank.
Yeah, they're making him work.
He has tripled his pitch count from the first inning.
See what Bloodworth's got.
Then play is going to get past the glove of Brooks. Runners taking off for home. Morales is going to be in there for another run. We're all tied up. Bloodworth heading into second base. Got himself an RBI, and we are all notched up at 3-3 here in the second.
Yeah, that was big. You knew that Morales was running on contact, but he got slowed down there because the ball went to his side. Still ends up scoring safely, and Georgia Sandlot lucky to retrieve that ball quickly after the bounce off the catcher's glove. But now we got a tie ball game.
81.2 mile an hour off the bat of Jaden Bloodworth to even things up, and that'll bring up Paxton Jennings.
Certainly been an action-packed start to this game. We'll see if Jennings can keep that going.
Yeah, he's 1 for 1.
Swing and a miss right there makes it 0-1.
Jennings puts that in play, and Brooks is going to have it. Throws on his knees, but that's just going to bounce in front of the first baseman. Here comes another run for Georgia Sandlot as that gets away from the catcher.
That's fantastic base running right there from SmarTense. You saw that shortstop kind of hit the deck trying to throw over to first, and heads up base running gets you another run there.
Yeah, 2 more, in fact. They lead 5-3 here. Would have been a really tough play for Brooks to try to get that to first base in time, but SmarTense has now taken a 2-run lead here in the second.
Certainly been an eventful start to this one.
Yep.
8 runs scored between the two, and we're not even done with the bottom of the second.
Yeah, Paxton Jennings now 2 for 2 with a pair of RBI. Nolan Idle, who's 1 for 1. Also been on the mound where he's got 2 innings pitched, has yet to register a strikeout, but has also not walked anybody. Dangerous Tyler Hickman in the on-deck circle should this inning continue. 1-0 the count here to Idle. That one's going down the third base side, 83.9 off his bat.
Yeah, gave it a ride, just a little bit too early. Coach is showing him exactly what he did wrong. See if Shank can try and finish this off. It's been a very strong 2-out performance here from SmarTense.
Yeah, a 31-pitch inning for Parker Shank. Make that 32.
Yeah, fighting that one off and going to make it 1-2 now. We'll see if Shank's got some strikeout stuff. It'd be the first strikeout for anybody so far in this game.
Isn't that remarkable to think we're this deep into this game and we have yet to see a strikeout?
When we say deep, I think it's just been the runs.
Well, yeah, that's
We're
true.
only an inning and a half through.
Third baseman has
stop.
it, but he is not going to be able to make a play. Very long throw. Idle's going to be at first, and runner will advance to third. So now got him at the corners for Hickman.
Yeah, way to knock that down and get it stopped, but probably
an errant
hold off
throw.
on sending that one over to first just with that runner already rounding second base. But a great stop nonetheless. Certainly stopped the run from coming around.
Sure, a conversation will be had in the Georgia Sandlot dugout about giving up free bases. That's going to bring up Tyler Hickman with 2 down and 2 on.
Hickman taking up every inch of that batter's box with that stance. Real wide.
Yeah, very Pujols-esque.
Oh.
Man, that one gets past the third baseman. Tyler Hickman's got himself an RBI. Is he going to hold it first? He is not. Tyler Hickman headed into second base, and he's got himself an RBI double.
Wow, 98.1 off the bat from Hickman. That was crushed
no
down the
question
line.
why Tyler Hickman is going to be part of the junior feature games roster this summer.
Yeah, that was a rocket down the line and obviously made it tough to go out there and play, and they get that second run to come in as well. That's huge, huge hit right there from Tyler Hickman.
Yeah, absolute bullet off the bat of the Cartersville 2029, and he has extended the SmarTense lead to 6-3 here in the bottom of the second.
Joining Jennings at 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs.
Malachi Baker at the plate.
We mentioned how you really don't want to be making pitching changes early in these games, but Georgia Sandlot certainly being given a tough decision here to see if you continue with Shank, who's now allowed 6 runs and not even through 2 innings.
Well, here's the other variable for both these teams. This is their first game of the day.
Yes, that is true.
So you think about the fact that, yes, if you're anticipating playing deep into bracket play, you got to play another one because SmarTense has got 5-Star Mafia Black at noon, and Georgia Sandlot's off until 2 o'clock when they play USA Scout Team Nike. So neither one of these teams is going to want to go too deep into their arsenal here and waste too many arms with so much more baseball to potentially play here on this Saturday. 2-0 is the count here to Baker. Baker 0 for 1. Sends that one foul.
And the way these standings work is pretty interesting. So in this, there's only 3 pools. The winner of Pool A, the winner of Pool B move on. And then the winner of Pool C make it, but it's actually just the 4 best teams in the overall standings.
2-1 to Baker. That one goes foul. Pitch count for Shank now up to 51. Teetering on a 40-pitch inning. He's got a 2-2 count here to Baker. SmarTense has scored 4 runs here in the inning. That one's going to get into left field for another base hit and results in another run for SmarTense. He will hold at first base.
that part of the field is just getting lit up.
Hits just keep on coming for SmarTense here in this inning. They've scored 5 runs. They've got 9 hits in all.
Yeah, making a lot of solid contact, too. That one 83.5 off the bat. I mean, it seems like every one of these hits has been down that third base, shortstop side, and typically 80-plus off the bat.
It's going to bring up Reeve Lee. I feel like it's been 2 outs for a half an hour.
Yeah, Hunt worked that 2-out walk, and since then it has just kept rolling. The last out was that Powers line out to left field.
So this is the 7th hitter with 2 outs. Remarkable. Runner taken off for second. They will hold at third, though.
Bit of a double clutch there behind the plate. Certainly slowed down things.
0-1 is the count to Lee, the Parkview 2029.
I think now for Georgia Sandlot, you're tasking Schenk with just get out of this inning and then we'll reassess from here, but you certainly want to stop the bleeding here soon.
Dribbler, Schenk has it, throws to first, but it pulls him off the bag. Another run's going to score. Man, we've seen some supreme athleticism in this game, but unable to get the out.
Well, they're saying he came down on the base when he caught it.
Okay. I certainly thought that he had been pulled off the base and we were going to have this inning continue, and Jordan Brinston was going to give us SmarTense completely hitting through the order. But nonetheless, we are through another half an inning. SmarTense has a 7-3 lead. We'll be back with the Easter Challenge.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, come to
Yep, go for it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. Easter Challenge matchup. SmarTense leads 8-3 over Georgia Sandlot. See if Sandlot can respond after a very long inning. Yes. Tyler Maidman at the plate right now for Georgia Sandlot.
It feels like it's been forever since that top of the second where Sandlot marched back and put some more runs on the board, but SmarTense with quite a bottom of the second.
Yeah, Maidman, the last hitter in the order for Georgia Sandlot, grounds out to first base, and now we're back to the top, and Luke Taylor. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Luke Taylor led things off with some smart base running and resulted in the first run of the game. That really feels like it was hours ago at this point.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of time has passed and a lot of runs have come across the plate since that moment.
Taylor 1 for 1.
What we saw in the first and second was Georgia Sandlot kind of jumping on fastballs early from idle, but we'll see what this time change and lead change will do to that approach. See what Idle's got on 1-1.
Swing and a miss.
A well-placed pitch there away from the righty.
Now Idle with the hesitation. Misses inside. Make it 2-2 here to Taylor.
I'd like to know if he was doing that for timing or if maybe he just didn't have the pitch grip. Not sure what happened there because he hasn't done that yet.
It certainly felt deliberate.
He misses 2 straight there. Make it a full count. 1 out.
Ooh, just misses in the outside, and Taylor will be aboard via the walk. It's the second walk of this game. There's been 1 apiece. We've yet to see a strikeout from either pitcher. Graham Stein now, the right fielder, watches ball 1 from Idle.
I think Georgia Sandlot's just got to play things smart here. We saw them very safely running the bases in the second.
Pops him up. Oh, man, nearly had a collision. That's obviously always going to be shortstop's ball, but Powers backs off, and shortstop does, in fact, catch it.
Now quickly 2 outs here. You still got the runner on first, and 2 outs certainly doesn't mean the inning's over. You can ask the guys on the other side of the field.
Yeah, went through 7 batters with 2 outs. Ryan Peckham now at the plate, the Walton 2029. Try to get something rolling here. Georgia Sandlot entered the bottom of the second inning leading 3-2, and they exit trailing 8-3.
Yeah, good off speed right there from Idle to start off the at-bat here.
Missed glove side's going to run the count even. Well, this, of course, being Easter weekend, I have to pose the most important question of the weekend to you, Grayson. What is the best Easter candy?
Oh, we got a pop-up here. I might have to answer after.
All right, we'll hold that until we get back as he pops out the second. So that's when in the business, that's what we call a tease.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with more Easter candy talk when we come back in the Easter Challenge, where SmarTense leads Georgia Sandlot 8-3.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. SmarTense an 8-3 lead over Georgia Sandlot after an incredibly quick inning. We're going to have a pitching change for Georgia Sandlot. They're now going to have Tyler Maidman on the mound. Pope 2029. Fastball up around 68. He's also got a curveball around 57 to 60 as he goes through his warm-up pitches. We will continue our most important conversation of the holiday weekend. Grayson, what is the best Easter candy?
Okay, so this one maybe it's a non-traditional Easter candy, but I got it last year, and it really put me on. So I don't typically like Reese's Pieces or Pieces or however people decide they should say it, but the egg-shaped ones are really good. So not just like the Reese's eggs. Those are phenomenal. Everybody knows that. But it's the egg-shaped Reese's Pieces.
Okay, I like Reese's Pieces as well, but the correct answer is Cadbury eggs.
Okay.
The ones with the cream in them. Those are the best.
My apologies for the incorrect opinion.
Yeah, it's producer Jack. Yeah, we've also got producer Jack, who's I know he's got his own take. Jack, what is the best Easter candy?
All right, well, I was going to say the Reese's Pieces, but in the carrot.
Oh.
But
they're just normal Reese's Pieces. They just come in a different package.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I could also say, and I'm surprised no one said this, Peeps.
Yeah, Peeps are okay.
I'm a fan of Peeps.
Yeah, I like Peeps.
Peeps are good, but like it's like a once in a year thing, and it's just Easter.
Yeah.
But you notice no one ever says jelly beans.
Well,
but jelly beans are like the staple Easter candy. We've got Jordan Brinson at the plate, by the way, and he's now got a 3-0
I think
count.
jelly beans are just like a stock, idea.
I think they're for decoration more so than
Maybe.
for eating.
I mean, when I think of jelly beans, I think of those like things where it's like you spin the thing and
well,
it's
that's
like,
jelly
Bean boozled?
Those are that's a jelly belly, and
No,
those are
Starburst makes the best jelly beans. In case anybody was wondering.
Wow.
It's a hot take.
Yeah, we're candy hot takes here on a Saturday morning.
I've got more in the chamber if we need them.
Well, we may need them later on. 2-0 is the count here to Jordan Brinson as we're looking at Tyler Maidman at the plate. It's going to miss glove side, run it to 3-0.
Maidman gives me like that last name, like Made Man, kind of like the mafia.
Like the mafia, yeah, I like that.
See if he can earn his keep here on the mound.
Well, he's made Brinson a made man when it comes to making his way down to first base as he offers him a leadoff walk. And now we're going to go from him to Yomil Morales, who gave us a really enticing time at second base.
See if he can be just as entertaining here in the box.
Yeah, nearly as much camera time as we're getting here this morning as he was dancing around the bag.
During what was the longest at bat of the day.
Yeah, he's looking very Easter-esque, by the way, with that pink bat and the white and blue uniforms.
Good block there behind the plate.
Yeah, we're going to send our intrepid reporter, Maddie Bullock, out to get athletes' takes later today on the best Easter candy, so I'll be interested to hear some of those. As we've got this event going on. We've got the Rise Hoops Easter Jam along with Rally Volleyball Beach event as well, so she's got a lot of options.
Yeah.
Anticipate she'll get a lot of different takes.
By the way, none of us said a chocolate bunny of any sort. That is also the other kind of staple. It's that
is
and
true,
jelly beans.
Yeah.
Jelly beans are like the Easter egg staple, but I think everybody grew up getting a chocolate bunny.
Runner's taking off for second base. Throw will be way in front of the bag, but I feel like that big Easter, the big Easter bunny, the chocolate Easter bunny, that one it's like tough to figure out when do you stop. You know, how much of it do you eat?
That's a good point.
And they're also...
It's not portioned well.
And they're rarely ever solid. They're always also like a letdown because they're also oftentimes hollow.
Yeah.
You know, and you get the big hollow bunny as kind of a let. There's really not that much chocolate there.
No.
But it's tough to portion it out, and it always crumbles as you kind of start to eat it. But
and also the ones that aren't hollow are typically like, I guess, intended to be like two-dimensional, but it's always the worst chocolate.
Yeah. I'm surprised none of the big chocolate manufacturers.
Well, I mean,
fix the chocolate
Lindor
bunny.
Truffles or Lindt, whatever that company is.
They do the smaller ones.
They do the small ones, but those are hollow as well.
And they're like the foil on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There may not be a lot of money in big chocolate redeveloping the Easter bunny. You only get a little bit of run out of those.
Yeah, that's true. It is a very it's as seasonal as things could get.
1-2 right back past the pitcher. Second baseman has it, throws in time for the out, but a runner will advance as Brinson makes his way to third.
Certainly some potential trouble brewing here with a runner on third and just one out. We've seen SmarTense's ability to just move runners. I mean, once again, in this game, nobody has struck out to this point. So people are putting the ball in play, and that could definitely be a recipe for another run scoring for SmarTense. Got infield in, trying to defend that run at home.
Jeremiah Powers at the plate now. Showed some pop in his first trip to the plate as he watches that miss for ball one.
Yeah, with infield in and that players essentially aiming for home, our field umpire might have to hit the deck if something goes to short.
All right, count is 1-0 to Powers as Tyler Maidman is taken over in this inning, and that one's going to be stopped by the catcher.
Yeah, make it 2-0. See if Powers can give something a ride. Last time was that second out of the second inning where he lined out to left.
Powers pops up. Now what was going to be going foul. And, oh, did he catch that one?
He sure did.
Sure did. First catcher, that was a first baseman on the run. Man, he went a long way to get that one as Powers pops out. By the way, producer Jack has some statistics for us on the top Easter candies.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so I looked it up, and according to USA Today, they have a map that shows each favorite candy by state.
Okay.
Peeps is the ultimate favorite here.
Wow.
But for some reason in New Hampshire and I think Maryland, it's jelly beans.
Okay.
In Montana, Colorado, and Utah, it's just gummies. Don't know what they mean by that, but it's just straight up gummies.
So 0 chocolate. So I wonder if they're not counting chocolate.
In Idaho, though, it's lollipops. And then, Vermont is chocolate eggs. That's the only state there's chocolate eggs in.
I like that this is also a good quiz of your geography.
Yeah, you've made your way across the United States map, so I feel better for the Georgia education system.
And then, according to another website...
Oh, hold on. That one just got crushed into center field.
Yeah,
and,
Garrett Hunt pops out, and that's going to be hauled in to center fielder's glove for the out. All right, so according to another website...
So, Reese's Pieces peanut butter eggs. Then, second is the, peanut butter cups. Third is Cadbury eggs. Fourth, Hershey's milk chocolate. Fifth, Cadbury cream egg. 6, Sour Patch Kids. 7, Lindt milk chocolate bunny.
Yep.
8, Starburst jelly beans. There you go. 9th is Hershey milk chocolate candy eggs. And 10th is Kinder chocolate candy eggs with the toy inside.
All right, there you have heard it with the definitive list as we've gone across the country, gone in our studio, and taken you inside the sales of chocolate here on Easter weekend. We will take a very short break. You're watching the Easter Challenge where SmarTense leads 8-3 over Georgia Sandlot.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back. LakePoint Sports is the destination. SmarTense up 8-3 over Georgia Sandlot here in our coverage of the Easter Challenge. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. We've got Logan Moran at the plate. He's got a 1-0 count as Nolan Idle, is back on the mound. I think I did this the last time the two of them were at the plate, combining their names. We got a 1-1 count here to Moran. Idle has thrown 47 pitches. He had a 26-pitch first inning, but he has certainly found his way of late, and his team has absolutely given him something to work with here, up 8-3 in the fourth.
Yeah, SmarTense definitely playing with a lot of confidence as this game's rolled on. That big second inning, especially with it being 2 outs, makes you feel real good. That one missed pretty bad.
It's like a laser right behind him.
But I think SmarTense is playing a lot more confident as this game rolled on, and I think with Georgia Sandlot, you don't want to get desperate, but you certainly need to start putting some things together.
3-1 goes back foul. It's starting to get a little bit more humid, and I think that's helping the fit of Nolan Idle's hat because it stayed on his head these past few offerings.
Got a little bit more sweaty.
Yeah, maybe things are swelling a little bit. Yeah,
weighing it down.
Yeah, the hair is starting to expand a bit. Moran ropes that down in the left field, and it's going to be caught for an out. Nice job defensively near his shoestrings.
We didn't quite get it in time on that camera switch.
Yeah,
he
looked like it may have dropped down, but in fact he did catch it. And Connor Brain, now the center fielder, steps in with 1 down.
Not sure what our delay is at the moment. All right, we're back.
Connor Burrian is 1 for 1 today. The Walton 2029 sends that one into the glove of the catcher for strike 1.
Still waiting on that first strikeout.
Yeah, remarkable, isn't it? Ropes that one back foul.
There goes the hat.
All right.
We shouldn't have said anything.
I spoke too early.
Somehow the announcer curse was just on his hat staying on, so it could have been worse. Let's see what he can do with 0-2. Get that aforementioned first strikeout, maybe.
Ooh, man, just misses. Nice breaking ball. The count is now going to be 1-2 here to Burrian.
See if he brings the breaking ball again or goes back to the heater.
He's got Teddy Taylor in the on-deck circle. 1-2 count, 1 down. Run that count even. Puts it in play. Shortstop has it, throws, but it's going to pull the first baseman off the bag. So Burrian's going to be standing at first base as Teddy Taylor steps in.
Yeah, good work right there, just storming down the first baseline. A missed dive and rolls to the shortstop slowly, but good work right there. Georgia Sandlot trying to get things rolling again.
So we talked candy on Easter, but I do wonder at what age do you stop being able to be enticed by an egg hunt? Does it matter what's in the egg? What would get you out of bed tomorrow morning to go on an egg hunt? Would there have to be like money inside the eggs?
Yeah. But like I feel like we always had obviously very low dollar eggs, but like there was a couple with like $1 bill or like a $5 bill, and there was like one with a 20.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that's how we were rolling as kids. But for the majority, it was just candy. Ooh. Another line drive, just smoked. Looks like that throw maybe got away from him, but I assume he's still safe there at first base.
Yeah, Teddy Taylor lines out, though, so there'll be 2 down now for shortstop Logan Brooks. I feel like if people could like somehow fit like high-end bourbons into like Easter eggs, I would get up tomorrow morning for that. Yeah. But or there's some really big eggs.
Yeah, just get like the giant egg.
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
It'd be tough for the basket though, and it'd get heavy really fast.
That is true. Well, you maybe don't need too many of those eggs.
That's true. Brooks with the dribbler to his counterpart at short on the run, throws. He's safe as it pulls him off the bag, and runner will advance to third. It's a great throw from short, but
yeah, I think he just stretched a little bit too far, and almost in a scenario like that, you don't try and flick back and try and get the tag, because then maybe you sell it that you didn't come off. But when you flip back to get the tag, it kind of shows the umpire, okay, I think I came off the base.
Michael Queen is 1 for 1, steps in with runners at the corners and 2 down. Idle misses inside.
Certainly don't want to let this slip away from you if you're idle up there on the mound. We've had a good opportunity here to get things out, but still haven't surrendered any runs in this one.
Bouncer makes it 2-0. Another miss, make it 3-0. 1 pitch away from loading the bases. Joseph Sabura, the third baseman in the on-deck circle. Georgia Sandlot looking for some kind of breakthrough here. They've watched a 1-run lead now become a 5-run deficit, and they will have the bases loaded for Sabura.
Trying to match them with this 2-out work.
I think Idle
giving the thumbs up, like, please don't come out here and take me off the mound.
See if this is a conversation or a pitching change. He gives the thumbs up to his coach. I think this may just, in fact, just be a conversation.
Yeah, I think they'll just talk it out, make sure that the whole infield's on the same page. There's 2 outs, just get the nearest out to you and Oh, no. They are going to take
All
Idle
right.
out of the game.
Okay. Well, Nolan Idle's day is over as he goes 3 2/3, allows 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. There's a new pitcher for SmarTense. We'll tell you about him when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Where's it written? Only grill burgers? Nowhere. That's where. Now throw on some sausage. And keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty mic.
Welcome back. Daniel LaBelle in North Gwinnett, 2029, is the new pitcher for SmarTense, who lead 8-3. Bases are loaded with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. So we've talked about what it would take to get you back into an egg hunt. What would it take to get you to go to the mall and have your picture taken with the Easter Bunny?
A lot less than what it would take to get me to go do an egg hunt. I think that would be a hilarious photo opportunity of me and the Easter Bunny. As a 22-year-old man, that would just look hilarious. I think I might just start doing that, just for all the different holidays. You have the Easter Bunny, Santa. Is there any other photo?
No, I think
things
that's
at the
it.
mall?
I can't imagine they would have like a leprechaun or something like that.
Yeah,
for him.
that would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, there's really nothing else. There's just the Easter Bunny and Santa at Christmas. Those are the only mall photo opportunities. I'm really surprised we haven't gotten to the point where they have, like, for May 4th, that they don't have, like, somebody dressed up as Darth Vader or, you know.
That would be interesting. I'm sure
something like
somewhere they do.
Yeah, there's probably some legalities that play there that would
Yeah.
stop somebody from being able to do that.
Maybe if there's
That's
a
in for a
Disney
strike.
store at the mall.
There used to, yeah. Well, here locally at Town Center Mall,
Yeah.
there used to be one, but it's no longer. I think it's some kind of like laser tag facility now or something like that. Comes a 2-2. That one's going foul.
So there are actually places where there's jack-o'-lanterns or witches for Halloween.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some where there's Cupid for Valentine's Day.
That's weird.
And then there's other ones where there's leprechauns for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, that one's going to get past him. Oh, what a throw from short, but he pulls him off the bag. Man, another run's going to score. Make it 8-4. The runs keep piling up. We've seen some fantastic play in the infield in this game, and that's 2 times defensively that, man, that's some absolute glove work there from Jaden Bloodworth at shortstop, but twice this inning he's just unable to complete the play. But, man, he has looked awfully good defensively, just unable to finish things off. As we've now seen a run score for Georgia Sandlot here in the 4th.
Yeah, definitely just kind of tough work here for SmarTense. Things just not going their way late in this inning, and it's led to a run scoring, and we'll see if LaBelle can get out of it, but certainly not the luck that they were having earlier in the game.
LaBelle with the 2-0, and it's going to hit the batter. So another run scores, make it 8-5. Things are getting dicey here in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, SmarTense certainly needs to figure something out and just get out of this inning. We talked about 2-out magic in this game, and SmarTense had their fair share. Now Georgia Sandlot experiencing it themselves.
So after hitting catcher Colton Lucas, new pitcher Tyler Maidman steps in. Maidman sends that one back foul. I feel, though, there's got to be somebody that's got to take a stand there and start to come up with all these other variations of different holidays that you would get pictures of people taken with.
I almost feel like that's slowed down a lot. Because I think it's because people don't go to malls as much
That
anymore.
is true, yeah. Well, Phipps Plaza down in Buckhead actually has a Santa that you have to get an appointment with.
That's
he's so
crazy.
popular.
To my future children, that's never happening.
Right back to the pitcher, and that will bring an end to the inning. Another run on the board, though, for Georgia Sandlot. They trail 8-5 as SmarTense is on top. We'll be back with more from the Easter Challenge.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. 8-5 is the lead for SmarTense over Georgia Sandlot here in our coverage of the Easter Challenge. Jaden Bloodworth, the leadoff hitter, will lead things off for SmarTense, be followed by Paxton Jennings and then Nolan Idle. Tyler Maidman continues on the mound in this relief effort for Georgia Sandlot.
I'm finally starting to memorize the routine now for Bloodworth at the plate. So he goes into the box, front left corner, front right corner, step out of the box, put the bat down, fix the batting glove, put the bat up, tap it twice, then he gets back in the box.
It's only on the first, when he first
it's
approaches,
only the first
though. He doesn't do it between every
first
pitch.
one, yeah.
He's not crazy.
No. Just superstitious.
Yeah. Oh, man, jumps on the 0-1, sends that down the left side. Ooh. Third baseman has it, throws. Man, what a job hitting, man. That was an outside pitch. He just sticks the barrel out, sends it down the left side, and is able to get aboard for a leadoff single.
Dare I say that the routine works. He's 2 for 3 now. He's got an RBI. He scored a run. Legged that one out, too. Great work from Bloodworth in this game.
Paxton Jennings is 2 for 2 with 2 RBI, and he steps in for the third time today.
Yeah, this top of the lineup has been lethal offensively, and it's been a huge reason of why SmarTense has 8 runs in the column right now.
Now they have racked up 11 hits so far for their 8 runs.
Yeah, 8 of those now coming from the top 4 in the lineup.
Impressive stuff. This guy's also responsible for 5 RBI. Again, 2 from Jennings, who's now at the plate. 2 more for Tyler Hickman, who is 2 batters away. Jennings pops up. First baseman has it, and that'll be out number 1.
Good use of the off speed to just kind of get an awkward attempt there at the swing. Get that first out.
Comes Nolan Idle. None too happy to come off the mound last inning. He's 2 for 2. Scored 2 runs.
Yeah, things were certainly rolling for him for a little bit there. He kind of settled in, and then Georgia Sandlot switched up the approach a little bit there in the top of the 4th and got to him a bit and pulled him out of the game. But we'll see what he can do here at the plate. He's already had a good day up to now.
Missed glove side. Yeah, if you're just joining us, we saw a 2-1 lead for SmarTense after 1 inning. Georgia Sandlot responds with 2 runs in the top of the 2nd, and then just an absolute eruption with 6 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning for SmarTense. We saw 2 runs scored by Georgia Sandlot to eat into this lead a little bit here in the top of the 4th, but it remains a 3-run cushion as Idle rips that one foul down the left side.
I think now into this at-bat, Bloodworth's got to be thinking about trying to get to second base and eliminating that double play here. You know, he's got the speed. It's just about getting the right jump here and not doing anything that'll cost you in the end.
Make it 2-1. You know, all this talk of mascots and posing with the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus for photos has me thinking once again of my push for us to get a LakePoint sports mascot going.
Yeah. I think instead of like an animal or something, we should just get like a human version of just the LakePoint logo.
I think, yeah, Shieldy. It should be Shieldy would be our mascot.
Big smile and some eyes.
With a gigantic shield.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, he'll have arms and legs.
Yep. Yeah, this feels like an inevitability, and I'm honestly stunned at this point.
Late go for Bloodworth.
Yeah. Oh, did they get
Great
Bloodworth?
tag.
They did, man.
Great work to get the tag down there from the second baseman.
Fantastic defensive work there. Able to get Bloodworth at second. So now make it 2 down here, 3-2 count here to Idle.
Yeah, and then something like that happens, and then Shieldy's doing like a cartwheel over the LakePoint logo on the left side of the screen.
I'm honestly stunned he's not already. We don't already have this in play. I'm sure we could find staffers able to fill that role for us. It would be ungodly during the summertime, but you'd love it in the. That one's going to drop down for a base hit from Idle, make it 3 for him on the day. It would be ungodly in the summertime, but man, in the winter when we're here in February, and you get to be in a padded costume.
Jack, would you do that? Could we convince you?
No. I think you give it to I think Maddie can do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, producer Maddie, she was actually working the camera. I saw her along the first baseline earlier. Tyler Hickman at the plate now. Last time up, he roped a 98.1 mile an hour 2-run double. See what he's got in store here as he's already 2 for 2 on the day, and you mentioned driving in a couple runs.
Yeah, looking to keep the inning alive here after Bloodworth got nabbed at second, and then you safely get to first. There we go.
Yeah, this time they'll get the stolen base.
Now, with what Hickman's already put on display, you know that runner in scoring position is a big deal.
Hickman behind the plate today for SmarTense. Already got 2 hits. It's the 1-1 from Maidman. Rips that one back foul. Well, I will nonetheless continue my my push here, my courageous pursuit of making Shieldy a reality.
Yeah. So long as I'm not in that costume, I'm all for it.
Comes a 1-2. Oh, skies that one back foul, the elevated fastball.
I mean, Cory, if you're going to push for it this much, do you think you'd be willing to suit up?
Well, it depends what time of the year it is. Again, if it's the winter time and you tell me like it's going to be 35 degrees.
16U national championships, heart of the summer.
All right, the 1-2 here to Hickman. Rips that 94.5 off his bat past the third baseman. Here comes another run. Hickman, is he going to hold it first? Make it 3 hits and 3 RBI on the day for Tyler Hickman. He is absolutely having himself a day at the plate.
94.5 off the bat that time, just flying down the third base line again, man. Just an absolute day for Hickman.
Yeah, what Hickman combining so far for a 98-mile-an-hour hit and a 94-mile-an-hour hit. Man, he is just absolutely drilling the ball. So we're going to Hickman to Malachi Baker. Miss inside. I feel like Tyler Hickman has laid the gauntlet down for player of the game at this point.
Definitely. And how perfect was it to have the hit and run on in that moment? Hickman's got to slide back pretty aggressively there. Certainly had himself a lead. Taking a strong lead there at first.
Just misses.
That's actually the courtesy runner.
Yeah.
Hickman replaced, but.
Combined for 193-mile-an-hour worth of exit velo in his last 2 trips to the plate. Catcher stops it from rolling any further. Runner will remain at first. 2 down, 3-0 count here to Malachi Baker. Baker is 1 for 2 with a run driven in. Scored a run. Yeah, 10 hits for the first 4 batters in this SmarTense lineup.
Wow.
Malachi Baker draws a walk, and will bring up Reeve Lee. Runners at first and second, 2 down. Maidman 34 pitches since taking over. He's thrown 1 2/3 innings. Still waiting for our first strikeout in this ball game.
Unbelievable.
Which is remarkable.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we've seen a combined 21 hits, 13 runs.
Yeah, both of these teams doing a phenomenal job of just putting the ball in play, and I think that's a big part of why we have had so many runs in this game. I mean, 13 runs have come across the plate, and I think a lot of that has to do with these offenses just putting the infield to work. That one's well hit.
Second baseman has it, throws in time, and that'll bring it into the inning. SmarTense still leads 8-5. We'll be back with more from the Easter Challenge.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
It's Daniel LaBelle back on the mound for SmarTense. His team leads 8-5 over Georgia Sandlot here as we on to the 5th inning of our game of the day from the Easter Challenge. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. We're back to the top of the order for Georgia Sandlot, and that's Luke Taylor. Will be followed by Graham Stein and Ryan Peckham.
We haven't seen a huge sample size yet out of LaBelle in this game. Only recorded that 1 out, give up 1 hit in that last inning, but going to try and maybe start things off a little bit better than that pitch there on the inside.
Yeah, Taylor has to dance his way out of the path of that baseball. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a walk. Scored the first run of the game. Now got a 1-1 count.
I did want to mention, for those that have maybe watched our broadcast for the last couple weeks, maybe caught the streams we did during the spring break experience. Oh, here we go. There's a liner out into center field. It's going to get caught out there in center field, and it'll be the first out of the inning. But we talked a lot about Jack Bauer and Connor Essenberg having a matchup on the 14th.
Yeah.
And I can confirm Connor Essenberg took Jack Bauer yard off 99 opposite field.
Incredible stuff. Yeah, just some absolute supreme talents that we had the luxury of watching for a few days here during that second week of the spring break experience.
Yeah, and speaking of Essenberg, if you haven't, go check out the mic up. That turned out great. He was absolutely wonderful on that.
Yeah, great job there by Jack McCartney on the edit, and Connor Essenberg had a cameo from Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
Two of them together, close friends. Yeah, it was certainly an interesting dynamic as we had Lincoln Way West and Lincoln Way East on adjoining fields, but they were unable to play each other because that is a region game in the state of Illinois. So we were able to have them in proximity of one another, and they could certainly have their Sharks versus Jets snap off like West Side Story, but they were unable to play each other.
Good pitch there to start fighting back in this at-bat.
A 3-1 count here to Graham Stein. Stein 0 for 2. Stein trips coming out of the box off that one. I think it hit him.
Yeah, I think he might have fouled it off the foot.
Blue going to give him a second here to gather his thoughts. We really should not call them blue here at LakePoint Sports. I don't know if I've ever even seen
I
an
don't think
official
they
here wearing
almost
blue.
ever wear blue. Maybe that's a conversation we need to have.
Yeah.
Either they need to wear more blue, or we need a new name for them.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they've heard quite a few names that we don't need to pronounce.
That's a fair point.
All right. Well, if you want to get rid of the name blue, what's your proposition for that?
I think you could just probably stick to like ump.
Yeah.
But blue is just so natural now to call them blue.
You got to think, even like in the majors, they don't even wear blue.
No.
It's like you just grow up and like the umpires wear blue, like Little League and all that kind of stuff. But then when you get older, they just all wear black.
Walk to Stein, so we'll have a 1-out walk as Graham Stein makes his way down to first base. I'll bring up Ryan Peckham. Maybe we should ask United umpires how they would like to be addressed.
Yeah. I think if they had their choice, it'd be as politely as possible.
Sir. I didn't know you were supposed to call umpires sir. I didn't know that's what they were all going to be called now.
Ooh.
First one right back to second.
Gets the
throws
flip.
there, and they get the double play.
Great
Oh,
work.
man, nice job defensively from SmarTense. Continues to lead 8-5. We'll be back as the couple servers make their way off the plate of the diamond there. We'll be back. You're watching the Easter Challenge from LakePoint Sports.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Curve Test Center is redefining player performance data when it comes to evaluation and recruiting. Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMan, Proteus, and more. Visit at the Bubble or sign up now at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. SmarTense leads 8-5 over Georgia Sandlot here in the Easter Challenge. Tyler Maidman back on the mound for another inning in this relief effort for Georgia Sandlot. This is his third inning. Allowed 3 hits, a couple walks. He's got Jordan Serrano at the plate right now for SmarTense to show. Serrano's 0 for 1.
Yeah, if you're SmarTense, you're obviously the home team now, so you're just looking to get a little bit more of these insurance runs as we come up to, I believe, 10 minutes left on the clock in this game.
That swing and a miss going to make it 1-1. So as we try to come up with a new nomenclature, new vernacular for the umpires, blue, if you will. Sir, if we were to pronounce multiple, would be sirs. It's not sires.
Yep, we double checked.
Yeah. Gray doesn't really just seem like something you.
No.
See,
that's like what other people would call me, like family members would call me.
Oh,
Gray.
there you go. Yeah.
So I would get confused.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe that's why we've just stuck to blue, is because there is no true alternative that kind of comes as easily off the tongue.
Yeah, we certainly won't be asking the comment section on a GoPro video.
Yeah.
What to call them?
What do they say in like other sports?
Ref.
Yeah.
I mean, you also have like the zebra nickname.
That is true.
Like the NFL.
Yeah. But
official.
But our umpires don't look like they work at Foot Locker, so.
No.
The 3-2, Brenteson rips that 87-4 off his bat. It's going to be an absolute rocket, and Lord knows where that one went because our camera didn't take advantage of it. That one's all the way to the wall. Brenteson going to make his way to third. The throw is going to be in time, but it bounces away from the third baseman, cut off by Maidman. Brenteson's got himself a leadoff triple.
That is some real aggressive base running for sure from Brenteson right there. But
well, he was 0 for 1. He saw all these hits at the top there. He saw the first 4 guys in this lineup with 10 hits and said, "I will not be denied." And he's got himself a leadoff triple.
Well, he joins Yomil Morales in the hit column as well, who's going to try and make it 2 for himself.
Morales with his Easter pink bat swings through that one foul.
You talked about how SmarTense wants some of these insurance runs, and a leadoff triple certainly puts you in a good position for one. Blue giving a strong inspection of that ball behind the plate.
Just looking at Sean Duncan's signature on those prep baseballs. 0-1 to Morales. Miss. Nice block job there behind the plate. And Morales 1 for 2. Scored a run. More dance moves than a Michael Jackson video at second base.
Trying to get there again.
Yeah, we saw in that AB where he wound up spending a very long time at second, we saw him just absolutely work a count against Parker Shank. I believe it was a 9 or 10 pitch AB.
Yeah.
And ultimately got his way on. See what he does here. He's got a 1-2 count here against Maidman. Searching for his second hit, looking to drive in that runner at third base and Brenteson. To run the count even at 2-2.
To this point, Maidman hasn't allowed a run, but SmarTense certainly threatening right now.
Morales rips that 86-2 off his bat. That's dropping down into center field for a base hit. Brenton crosses the plate. Morales has got himself an RBI and extends the lead to 9-5.
Good work out there in center to cover some ground and cut that off before it got nasty. That definitely could have rolled its way to the wall, but cuts it off, just allows the single, but SmarTense scores their 9th run of the game.
Jeremiah Powers now at the plate. We did not mention this. I found it interesting earlier this week. Because of the prices of eggs, there are a number of people who are actually decorating marshmallows. At Walmart, they're selling bags of marshmallows that you can decorate to put out as opposed to doing eggs because they're such a commodity
they're very
at the moment.
expensive right now. That is for sure.
Miss high to Powers. Maybe that will become the thing going forward.
Decorating marshmallows?
Yeah,
well, at least then it's edible.
Well, I like hard-boiled eggs, but there's
I'm not a fan.
There's also the point of it. It takes a while to hard-boil an egg, as opposed to you can just take a marshmallow out of a bag and do what you're going to do to it. But I would imagine the company that makes the was it Paz that makes all the all the hard-boiled egg die kits is probably having a pretty rough rough run here.
Yeah, I mean, when your product is entirely dependent on something that is very, very much increasing in price, it's probably difficult.
Yeah, Paz, P-A-A-S is the name of the company, and then, obviously you get the die kits and you put them in, you put the egg in a little metal thing and let it sit down in there. But
I haven't done that in forever.
Definitely a lot different conversation if it's get some marshmallows out and do stuff with them.
Maybe that's why people love Peeps so much.
There you go. You're just tying it all together.
Yeah.
3-0 to Powers is down the middle for a strike.
I feel like I wasn't supportive enough of Peeps. I love Peeps. It's just
the crazy thing to me with Peeps is that there's so many different kinds of Peeps now.
Yeah.
They used to just be like the yellow ones, but now they have ones I saw where they taste like Oreo Peeps. And they have all these different flavors and whatnot. Walk to Powers. Be runners at first and second as Morales makes his way to second.
Like, I always liked that you had, like, the little, like, the chicken-looking ones.
Yeah.
And you had the bunnies, and they were, like, the different colors, but they taste exactly the same. When you start changing the flavor.
Yeah, they now have Churro Peeps, Dr. Pepper Peeps, Chocolate Pudding Peeps, Breyers Cookies and Cream Ice Cream Peeps.
Wow.
Here you go, Milk Bone Peeps, which I would have to assume are for dogs and not for people.
I mean, it's worth a
but
try.
Potentially there's the thing, the Blue Raspberry Peeps.
I think I could get behind Dr. Pepper Peeps.
Yeah, you can get Party Cake Peeps, Fruit Punch Peeps, Watermelon Peeps. So at what point did the Peeps industry decide we got to go lean into a different direction because what we're doing is not enough? There had to have been a pretty deep conversation.
I don't know if it's that they weren't doing enough, but they needed to evolve. That was an errant throw there. It bounced off the first baseman, rolls out into right field, and we get the looks like they're gonna.
What in the world is it? That was like a.
It does look like a bat, but I think it's a bug.
It's a bug, but it almost looked like a computer-generated bug. It was.
I think I saw
so
it
defined.
earlier, and it really threw me off.
As long as he does not make his way into the studio, because as we have shown from his brethren on these broadcasts in the past, they are not welcome within these confines.
Yeah, not sure what happened there, but both the runners are retreating back to their.
All right, well, we had an errant throw, which looked like we were going to allow the runners to advance, but Morales makes his way back to second. Go back to your home. Down the middle to Hunt. Well, the Peep lobbyists are certainly have found their sweet spot because you can get a lot of different varieties of that tasty treat. 1-1 count here to Hunt. Skies that one into left field, excuse me. I'll be hauled in for an out. Runners will remain at first and second.
Okay, I might have just had $1 million idea, or I might have just totally stolen this from somebody else that's done it before. But have we not tried doing s'mores with Peeps? I think that would be amazing. You could like almost caramelize the sugar on the outside, and like it would be like crunchy. I think that is genius. And like Peeps are already really soft, so you don't have to get them that hot for them to soften up. I think somebody's got to try that.
Yeah. Well, if you've tried Peeps in s'mores forms and you want to let us know about it, as Jaden Bloodworth rips that one into left field, and that's going to be all kinds of trouble. Jaden Bloodworth's got himself another RBI. He's going to have two. He, in fact, will. Jaden Bloodworth making his way into third base, and he's going to have
an early slide, but he gets there.
Jaden Bloodworth's got himself a 2-run triple. make it 3 RBI on the day and 3 hits for the leadoff hitter for SmarTense.
I mean, the top of the lineup for SmarTense might just be the player of the game. All these guys are putting together such a great team performance up there, and Bloodworth has let it all off. I'm not sure what just happened. Did we just run out of time? I think we might have just hit our time limit right there. And
well, we should have 2 minutes remaining on the clock, at least.
I'm not sure. Was there an out that we just weren't looking at? No, I think they called it right
well, all
there.
All right, 9-5 win, 11-5 win for SmarTense. Jaden Bloodworth with the nail in the coffin. Man, what a fantastic offensive showing for SmarTense. We're going to talk player of the game and so much more when we come back. You're watching the Easter Challenge from LakePoint Sports.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Back to LakePoint Sports, our coverage of the Easter Challenge, our game of the day. Georgia Sandlot against SmarTense. The show SmarTense 12-5 winners over Georgia Sandlot. As you watch the footage from Maddie Bullock there, this game was raring on. Some fantastic defensive work as we see that there. And man, this game, Grayson was, offensively led to say the least. Really felt like Georgia Sandlot was in a position to go toe-to-toe with SmarTense. We get through one inning. SmarTense has got a 2-1 lead. Georgia Sandlot comes back with 2 runs in the top of the second inning. SmarTense blew this game open in the bottom of the second inning, and like everything else in this game, defined by the top of the order.
Yeah, like you said, this start was kind of chaotic. We saw the runs coming from some errors, some good base running as well on those errors, but it was that bottom of the second. And the best part about it for SmarTense, and I think what gave them even more confidence as this game went on, not only did they put up 6 runs, most of that came with 2 outs. They went through 7 batters with 2 outs in that inning, which is just phenomenal, and they put up all those runs, and then you kind of just top it all off there right at the end of the game with the triple that makes it 12-5.
They had 16 hits in all. 11 of them came from the first 4 batters in their order: Jaden Bloodworth, Paxton Jennings, Nolan Idle, and Tyler Hickman. In because of that, a defining player of the game literally came down to the very last moment. Jaden Bloodworth put the punctuation point on this. He ends up 3 for 4 with 3 RBI, capped by that 2-run triple to finish things off.
Yeah, and he hit it really well. We knew it was trouble off the bat. We both said it as soon as it happened, and it just rolled to the wall. And some aggressive base running by SmarTense throughout this game. Bloodworth showed it off right there, getting the triple and the 2 runs right there. It was a fantastic way to end off a great performance offensively from SmarTense.
Yeah, Bloodworth, the Eastside 2028 is player of the game, but not to be outdone. Let's talk Tyler Hickman for a minute because we teetered.
Man.
It felt like it was going to be Tyler Hickman, but a 2-run double in the second inning that was 98.1 off the bat, that during that 6-run second inning, then a 94.5 mile-an-hour single in the 4th inning. This is a special hitter in the lineup.
Yeah, and we talked about how he's already on that Junior Future Games team.
Yeah.
It makes sense why. We all know why now. Tyler Hickman had quite the show here today.
Jaden Bloodworth is player of the game, and his SmarTense the Show offense put on an absolute show, getting a 12-5 win over Georgia Sandlot. We're going to be back next Saturday with coverage of the Prep Baseball Challenge. You won't want to miss that one, so make sure you're following all the LakePoint Sports social media channels for tuned-in information. Also, make sure you check out our social media platforms as we'll have our player of the game interview as Simone Stanley grabs Jaden Bloodworth for that one. Until next time, for Grayson, Rosen, and producers Maddie Bullock and Jack McCartney, I'm Cory McCartney, and we are signing off from LakePoint Sports.